Yeah, hello friends. Yes, I'm just here to share some thoughts again. And this time around, I'm just thinking about staying focused. I realized that in life, generally, the moment you embark on a particular journey, that's when alternatives start popping up. You have decided this is what you're going to do. Just at that moment, at that point, you've decided, you now see options that are looking as if they are valid as well. And it just starts distracting you and making you doubt the first decision you made. And this is the point where I thought to myself that it's either a right decision or a wrong decision. It's as basic as that. There's no in between. It's either good or bad. It's either right or wrong. It's either fair or unfair. So if you have made up your mind and you are now on the journey and decisions and other options are popping up, what that looks to me is it looks to me as if you haven't given proper thoughts before deciding on that journey. Now, staying focused does not ignore options, but it's talking about the right time to look at those options. For instance, you want to decide on what course to study in the university. The time to decide it is when you're filling your JAMB form, when you're about submitting the JAMB form, when you're about writing the JAMB, or the embarking on even a journey, depending on what qualifiers you have across the world to get into the university. Not when you've already done qualifiers for medicine and surgery. You now get into school, you now want to take law. How are you intending to switch? If you pray at that point, you're stressing prayer. If you are hoping at that time, you are stressing hope. Because you've lost focus. The criteria to study medicine and surgery is different from the one to study law. So if you decide to now change your mind halfway, it is tantamount to you not even finishing at all. And this is what I was thinking. A lot of us actually have visions, have goals in life. But at the point where we start that journey, that is when options now start popping. That looks very valid. The right time to consider options is before you start. Even the Bible said it, where it said that who is it that would build a house without already pre-planning and counting the cost? It's in the book of Proverbs. So I think the best time to plan or consider options is when you are yet to start that journey. But the moment you start the journey, this is the time for you to stay focused. Remember, the result is either going to be positive or negative, good or bad, right or wrong. So if you actually are particular about having the right kind of result, it is at the beginning, before you even start, you need to think about all those options. And of course, generally in management or even in life, when you are consulting options, you would ask people whose result you desire. You ask from results that looks good or appealing to you, things that actually connects with your inner peace. You pray about it because that one is very constant. Pray about it until when you connect with peace. And by the time you now have a decision you want to chase, you now release your positive energy into that result, into that decision you have made. So as you go, you expect the best out of it and pull all that the universe has to deliver to ensure that decision comes out positive for you. Otherwise, you would only have made a decision just like a guess, random, wild guess. Mini, money, more. Father has a donkey. You make a choice, and whatever you pick, then you get halfway, you think the other thing. And look at it. I was watching a skit the other day of someone who was copying in an exam hall. You assume that this person has the answer. You already started copying. Before the person now changed the mind and said, no, this is rubbish, I just wrote, and tore the paper. And at this point in time, you have 10 minutes to the end of the exam. This is too short a time for you to make an alternative decision. And this is what a lot of us do. We don't even have a focus. We don't even have what we intend to do. We don't have a picture of what we want to achieve. What we always do is just in our mind to just make a random guess without careful thoughts. We start And when we are halfway into the decision, we now start dilly-dallying and imagining, am I right? Am I wrong? Then you now think of what else to do. Then in that case, not finishing is very, very, very much expected. Number one. Number two, it is still going to either be right or wrong eventually. So it is just important for us to focus on the right thing, which of course requires think about it before you even start. From the planning stage, put a lot of thought to it. Nothing should be started carelessly. And eventually, when you have started, let yourself stay true to that decision. Now, I'm not ruling out the fact that you could actually make a guess when you've already started and it will still go well. And you could make a guess when you started and it could go wrong. Now, these are the possibilities that comes in life. It's either right or wrong. But just for you to also be able to define your kind of result and also seems stable and well defined, it might be appropriate to take a deep thought before you start a particular focus or a particular project. Think about it. Consult options. Look at what you would want to make out of it. It might make sense, it might not make sense, but just decide. In fact, as terrible as it may sound, if you want to be bad, decide to be bad. So that when you get there and the consequence and the terror and the whole sanction that goes with being bad comes on you, you would know this is what you deserve, you got. Not when you are bad by influence or by luring or whatever. And if you want to be good, decide to be good. If you want to do business, decide to do business and stay true to it. And I'm just saying this because I've looked at a lot of people around. They are not focused. They basically are not looking at the right thing. They have a very good picture from the beginning, but somewhere along the line, the picture seems like they themselves are even doubting it. And imagine those people being your leaders. You now see how confused the whole followers would be. Because if I trust you to go ahead of me, I believe you've thought it through. And if you trust me, you believe I have thought it through. So why don't we just have a generation of people who would have thought actions or projects through before starting it? Then you know that even after thinking it through, life still happens, yes? But you expect the best out of the decision you have made. You expect that the result will be positive and stay true to the course. And accept the conviction you have after you started is stronger than what even motivated you to start the project. It might be appropriate to just stick to that project until the end, because it's still going to either be good or bad. If you hope for good, then you are actually now doing two things. You've thought through it, you've done your own part, and you are also hopeful that it ends positively. Any way this thing is being applied, I think the result will also be very desirable. This is just me thinking and just imagining that if we all stay focused and we all have good plans and we think about options before starting and we stay true to those options and intelligently also consult alternatives as we embark on that journey, I think results would be more seen around us than just lots of smoke of ideas. And people would seem like this one has a good vibe, and tomorrow, where is the vibe? It's not there anymore. Different things that looks like it's the rave of the moment. The next minute, we can't find it again. That focus is missing amongst most people. And it is not limited to any geographical location. It's across the world. People not just get focus. And we need it. Just think it through. Decide. You know where they go. Make you know where they go. That's just a thought on my mind.